Hey everyone, Melissa here, and I'm so happy to be back with you again on the Cocoa Vanilla Studio YouTube channel and also on my channel. So, what my assignment was for this week was to work on a layout with the theme Home is Where the Heart Is, and I'm really excited by this theme because I get to showcase to you where I'm from, which is Queenstown, New Zealand, and I have a photo of a typical landscape that's about probably 10 minutes drive from where I live, and I took it mountain biking. So this is a lake called Lake Hayes that I bike around regularly, and it's probably 5 minutes bike, the top of it over here from my house. And I have this cut file by Paige Evans which says the mountains are calling and I must go. And when I saw this cut file, I knew it was perfect to document a photo of where I live. And of course, the perfect collection for a landscape kind of photo, in my opinion, is legendary. So a few things that I've pulled. I'm thinking of using this paper as a background. It's called Offbeat. I have used it as a background before, and it doesn't matter to me because this layout will end up in an album that's about myself, whereas I think I may have used it about Sam. If I've used it, I have to think back. I'll have to look back and see. So, yeah, I've just pulled a few papers that I think are going to work well with backing that cut file that is of a landscape. This is my favourite paper, I think, in the whole collection. It's called Wild One. I'm not sure if yellow is going to go anywhere, but I thought some of these might work. Obviously, blues, greys, sort of stone colours, not that one. And in some way, I want to put this matte paper in because I absolutely love it. Wood grain on the back, but I don't think the wood grain is going to work for this. So, yeah, that's my plan. If I'm going to use that as a background, I want to add some mixed media, but what I'm going to do is back this cut file off camera because you've seen me back cut files before. You don't need to see it again. So then I'm going to come back and build the rest of the layout. Okay, so I backed my cut file off camera just because I think I've said it in the intro to this that you've seen me back cut files before. It also took me a bit of time to select what papers I wanted, and if you want to know the names of the papers that I used to back this cut file, you can have a look on the Cocoa Vanilla blog where my blog post is, and I'll have the link in the box below. So basically, I just selected papers from Legendary that would I guess fit each of the features. So I've used a couple of greens for the trees, I've used a couple of kind of grey based papers for the mountains, I've used one blue pattern for the clouds, but I've changed the orientation of that pattern paper to get two different looks so that the clouds are a little bit different. If you can hear my daughter saying I don't like it in the background, that is because it's dinner time and obviously she doesn't like the dinner, so apologies if you can hear that. So I've used vellum for the top half of the cut file, and I like that. I think if I'd added pattern paper, this would have been too much. It also makes that the mountains are calling and I must go quite subtle because that's not going to be my title. It's more like a subtitle. You could cut this cut file on like pattern paper, say the grey or even the wood grain, and then that would be a bolder title, but I decided not to make that my title. Another thing I did was I created a couple of shaker pockets with some packaging and some sort of white silvery glitter for the snowy caps on those mountains, and now all I'm doing is backing my photo with that beautiful wood grain, and that's all that is needed. It was hard to decide where to put my photo because I didn't want to cover up too much of the background because it is so beautiful, but I especially love that matte print that the trees are sitting on. I didn't want to cover that. So here I'm going through the die cut ephemera, and I did want to use that adventure awaits, but it is too dominant for the photo. I think it takes away from the cut file, and I guess the cut file really is the feature aside from the photo because it features sort of elements that go with the photo. I'm not normally a themey scrapbooker, but I guess on this one I am, and I think it works really well. So the paper that I've selected for my background, I think it's called Offbeat. Once again, it'll be linked in the blog post, but I chose that one because the work is done for me, and because I used vellum to back that cut file, I didn't want to add any splatters. I thought about adding some gold splatters on my paper before I glued my cut file down, but I thought they might, I don't know, I don't want to ruin the cut file, I don't want to ruin the soft look that this page has. I thought about adding splatters at the end as well, but the same thing, I didn't want to ruin anything. I certainly didn't want them to land in an odd way on the vellum and mess up what I'd done. So in the end, for me, this is a very simple page, even though most of the work obviously is backing the cut file. And I think because I've gone with that pattern paper for the background, that makes the page more interesting. So embellishments are really simple. I'm going to be adding one of those tabs. I think it says memorable. My title will be epic with that admit one ticket. I've added a couple of stars, and the finishing touch will be some enamel dots. I've also added a couple of word stickers or phrases. I think one says here and now. I can't remember what the other one says, and I can't read it on here. I've added my journaling about how biking around Lake Hayes during the lockdown was part of my sanity. I needed it to get away from my children every day. I'm sure all of you with kids that have been locked down will understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, just adding my journaling, and then I will add my enamel dots, and that is my page. So I hope you've enjoyed this more simple one from me today. I hope I've inspired you that when you scrapbook your home, that you can also look beyond your house and look at things that you love and you consider your home that are nearby. So yeah, a few close-ups, and if you want to see more, like I said, do head on over to the Coco Vanilla Studio blog. You can also find the collection in the Coco Vanilla Studio shop. Thanks for watching.